From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news, the debate over concealed carry without a permit is taking center stage at the state capitol today.
Plus, some great news for those with diabetes. One company is slashing their price of insulin in half.
But first, a scary moment at a Lincoln credit union today. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. A car crashed into the credit union in East Lincoln.
LPD and Lincoln Fire and Rescue were called to the scene, and one person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Channel 8's Veronica Barreto was there today and joins us now with more. Veronica?
A Link 1 Federal Credit Union employee was taken to the hospital today after a car crashed into the building near 48th and Vine Streets. Officials were called to the scene shortly before noon. Lincoln police says the 88-year-old driver of the car was trying to park when accidentally hit the gas instead of the brake and crashed into the building. LPD says an employee working inside was taken to the hospital. The good news, she had non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the car was also treated for minor injuries at the scene. City officials were at the scene today of the crash to inspect the building. LPD says damages to the building can cost from $20,000 to $30,000.
Veronica, thank you very much for our top story tonight. Now we head down to the legislature where the debate continues over the permitless concealed carry bill.
That's right. Many senators stood by their previous positions despite some changes to the bill by its author, Senator Brewer. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleider joins us now here in the studio with the latest on that story. Matthew?
Senator Brewer said he's been working on versions of this bill for years and has talked with police departments to make it more agreeable to them. Last week, he had added an amendment that would increase penalties for any prohibited person caught carrying a concealed gun without immediately telling officers that they have a weapon. The amendment also allows penalties to be enhanced in cases involving domestic violence and resisting arrest if a concealed gun is involved. After that, the Omaha Police Officers Association changed its position on the bill from opposing it to being neutral. However, both the Omaha and Lincoln Police Departments still oppose the bill.
The law we have on the books right now says that it is a crime for you to put a jacket on if you have a firearm. So you have to visualize this. You can open carry and you're legal. You put the coat on, you're illegal.
You know, this is at a time when we have 2 or more mass shootings a day. 2 or more mass shootings a day. When gun deaths are now the leading cause of death to our children.
Opponents said the number of mass shootings and gun violence will only increase if more people are allowed to conceal carry, while supporters say owning guns is a right and no one should be forced to pay for permits to a concealed weapon. The debate is expected to continue this week, and we'll keep you updated with any developments. I'll have more on this story at 6 o'clock tonight.
Thank you very much, Matthew. 37 million Americans with diabetes may soon see a little relief for their wallets. One pharmaceutical company, Eli Lilly, is taking the cost of insulin into their own hands.
Cutting their prices by more than half. The company's CEO announced it was capping the out-of-pocket cost of the life-saving drug at $35, which is matching the changes made to Medicare. As of May 1st, Eli Lilly is also reducing the list price of its non-branded insulin to $25 per vial. It's currently listed at $82. The CEO says they've been working for years to lower their costs, and $35 should be the new standard across the nation.
While we could wait for Congress to act or the healthcare system in general to apply that standard, we're just applying it ourselves. Lilly's going to buy down all of our customers' out-of-pocket cost to $35 at the pharmacy counter automatically.
Although insulin is relatively inexpensive to manufacture, the cost has been rising for years. The American Diabetes Association says the average price of insulin nearly tripled between 2002 and 2013, as diabetes is now the fastest growing chronic disease in the world. In crime news, 2 people are facing drug charges after being arrested last night.
This all started when officers say they heard the two arguing near 24th and A Streets. They say they found 23-year-old Antonio Foote with around 200 pills and a 19-year-old with the oxycodone pill. Both were taken into custody and charged with possession.
17-year-old Joseph McAllister of Hastings is asking for his case to be transferred to juvenile court. Back in January, he and 18-year-old Tate Wolf were accused of stealing a vehicle that had 3 children inside and then abandoning the infant on a porch. Combined, the two face 19 total charges. McAllister is scheduled to appear back in court later this month. And another man is behind bars after a child exploitation investigation by the State Patrol.
Investigators arrested 21-year-old Andrew Alcala of Grand Island for possession of child pornography. They say they performed a search at his Grand Island home and found proof of child exploitation. He was lodged in Hall County Jail. The investigation remains ongoing. Now to a developing story. Officials are trying to figure out how a cheetah escaped its enclosure at a Nebraska zoo. This happened yesterday afternoon at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo.
Staff members were able to safely walk her back to the main enclosure without incident. Zoo officials were alerted of the cheetah outside of its enclosure around 3:30 p.m. Emergency protocols immediately went into effect to keep guests safe. Everyone at the zoo was taken to secure locations and all entry points were closed. Officials say there will now be a review of this specific area.
And today would have been a great day to maybe walk around the zoo. Here in Lincoln, Omaha, wherever, right, Rusty?
Absolutely. Gorgeous day today. Tons of sunshine for the first half of the day. Clouds have been on the increase, though, throughout the afternoon. Kind of a reverse from what happened yesterday. Yesterday we started with clouds, ended up with sunshine. Today we started with sunshine, and now we have some cloud cover. And it's cool cloud cover, too. Look at that. We've got the Beatrice cam fired up. Schoen's Roofing showing a mixture of clouds and sun, and it's a nice late afternoon, early evening out there with temperatures still in the 50s for just about all of us. 51 in Beatrice, 52 in Wymore, 51 in Hebron. Sudden, you're a little cooler at 46 degrees, and the further north and further west you go, the colder it gets. 42 in Grand Island, 37 in Broken Bow. O'Neill, you're at one of the colder spots, 25 degrees, just a degree warmer than Valentine at 24. The wind is out of the north and northwest at 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 miles per hour, so a little on the breezy side. It's 17 miles per hour in Lincoln. Cloud cover has increased, and it'll stay that way, and some light precipitation now showing up near North Platte. So areas near Dawson County, Lincoln County, and a little further west like Perkins, Chase, maybe Hayes County, seeing a little bit of light snow. A lot of that not quite getting to the ground. So tonight in Lincoln, not expecting any snow, at least not tonight. 45 degrees by 6 p.m., 38 degrees by 8, and 32 degrees by 10 o'clock this evening with mostly cloudy skies. There's a small chance for some precipitation as we head through the day tomorrow in the Lincoln area. Some areas have a little bit better chance than others. We'll go over that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Rusty. And today is Nebraska's 156th birthday. Governor Jim Pillen took the day to celebrate. Students at Morley Elementary hosted the governor for an assembly in their gym.
The school greeted Pillen with a song honoring all the things that make Nebraska great. After the song, the governor spoke to the kids about what makes Nebraska great, even asking them what their favorite things in Nebraska are. Then students had the opportunity to ask the governor some questions of their own.
My name is Della, and can you name 3 reasons you like Nebraska?
3 reasons that I love Nebraska: our people, our land, and our water.
To explain the importance of the Ogallala Aquifer and how the sandhills make that natural resource possible. To finish the assembly, students joined the governor in singing Happy Birthday to Nebraska. And today marks the beginning of Nebraska's 2023 Youth Poet Laureate Search, calling on young artists, writers, and creators to apply statewide.
The current ambassador for the program is Tanya Banchu. She says because of her love of poetry and writing, she applied to the Nebraska YPL program last year with encouragement from her English teacher. She says the works of other laureates inspire her, as she hopes to inspire Nebraska youth to also apply.
I just wanted more opportunities to share my poetry. I have always loved writing, but I never really share it as much. So I was thinking that through this position, I could share my poetry more, and I do exactly that. So have fun with your application. Don't stress yourself out about the application or anything like that. Just make sure that you submit poetry that you really love and that you have put your emotions, your thoughts, and your feelings into it. And along the way, you'll just get so many other opportunities, and it's great.
You can find more information about Nebraska's 2023 Youth Poet Laureate search on our website, klkntv.com. The City of Lincoln is looking to answer questions about their proposed water source project.
The city will hold an open house with LTU and the Mayor's Advisory Council next week. City officials will take questions and offer information on the project. It's set for March 7th from 5:30 to 7:30 at Southwest High School. The project would build a pipeline to the Missouri River to secure a second water source for Lincoln. It'll cost over $1 billion and decades to build.
And an open house to talk about improvements on South 56th Street just started. They want to fix up the road between Spruce and Van Dorn, and they want to hear from you, the residents. The meeting goes from 5 to 7 tonight at Gear Branch Library. Information on both of these meetings are on our website, once again, klkntv.com. Well, happening right now, the girls' state basketball tournament is rocking and rolling.
The games tipped off today at both the Devaney and Pinnacle Bank Arena. Teams across Nebraska are competing for a chance at a state title. Channel 8's Lauren Michelson will have a full recap of day one tonight at 6 and 10 o'clock. Still to come on the news here at 5, a bipartisan sponsored bill is introduced on Capitol Hill to increase safety when it comes to trains.
We'll have the latest on that story right after the break. New efforts are underway in Congress to prevent another toxic train derailment like they saw in East Palestine, Ohio. Nearly a month after that crash, a bipartisan group of lawmakers want new regulations to prevent this devastation from happening in another community.
A Senate bill introduced today is called the Railway Safety Act. It addresses regulatory issues, including why the state of Ohio didn't know about the hazardous load on the train. The bill would also set train crews at a 2-person minimum and require long-haul railroads to pay for hazardous materials training for local first responders. 2 senators from Ohio, a Republican and Democrat, co-sponsored the bill.
We would make it so that Norfolk Southern and other rail companies have to label these trains as high hazardous so that local authorities know what's actually on these trains.
Yeah, I don't know Senator Vance well, but he's seeing the same things I'm seeing. He's talking to a lot of the same people I'm talking to.
The bill was introduced one day after another derailment, this one happening yesterday in Florida, just south of Tampa. Officials say the train was carrying 30,000 gallons of liquid propane, but so far it has not leaked. Evacuations could be ordered if that changes. And in the hot seat on Capitol Hill, the president's pick to lead the FAA, answering senators' questions at his long-awaited confirmation hearing.
The hearing comes as the FAA investigates another close call, this time in Boston on Monday night. Officials say 2 planes came within 565 feet of colliding. They say a Learjet pilot took off without clearance after being told to wait as a JetBlue flight was landing and had to take evasive action.
The safety of the traveling public will remain my top priority. I will own well-intentioned failure, and FAA employees will own their success.
The pilots did a really incredible job. I mean, we came in, it was a scary situation, but it was very smooth.
The incident is one of 5 close calls involving a commercial airliner on a runway this year.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
So March 1st, almost in the books, a pretty decent day. We started off mild. We ended up in the 50s for many areas. And then the clouds rolled in and we're going to start to cool off for the second day of March. But overall, very quiet start to the month. And we got a lot of clouds out there right now. Southeast Community College at 84th and O Street, mostly cloudy and mild. Temperatures are still in the 40s, which is not bad for this time of year. 47 Southeast Community College, 47 East Campus, Yankee Hill Road, you're at 50 at the airport. Officially 48 degrees as of 5 p.m. on this Wednesday afternoon. You don't look how much colder it is in Columbus, 34. So we're 14 degrees colder in Columbus than it is in Lincoln, 51 in Beatrice, 50 in Nebraska City, still 55 in Falls City. But the colder air is just a hop, skip, and a jump to the north. It is not far away, and it's eventually going to seep into our area, into southeastern Nebraska, and we're all going to be cooler tomorrow because of it. The wind is dragging that colder air down with it. 16 miles per hour in Wahoo, 17 in Lincoln, and 13 miles per hour in Beatrice. So a little breezy and a little on the cloudy side too. No precipitation for most of us in south central and southeastern Nebraska, but I'll zoom out and show you that there's very little light precipitation trying to get going on the other side of North Platte, maybe a raindrop or 2 towards the McCook area, but overall this is maybe a couple of flakes making it to the ground. And Stormcast is kind of saying that, where there's enough moisture that we might see a snowflake or 2 overnight tonight into the day tomorrow. The better chance will be to our south. Notice the blues here trying to show up on the other side of the Kansas-Nebraska border. This is Thursday morning, 6 a.m. Mostly cloudy, maybe a flurry or 2, but the better chance to the south that tries to get into our area and kind of runs into that warmer air that's in place. I think it'll be just above the freezing mark as we head through the afternoon hours. So we might see a little rain trying to change into a little snow. Again, this is all going to be pretty light and generally south of Interstate 80. And then it just kind of fades away. We might see a return of a couple of raindrops as we head through the second half of the day, Thursday into Thursday evening. That won't amount to much either. So this is not a huge precipitation maker. In fact, I'm going to show you what one model says for snowfall potential, and it's not a lot. We're looking at maybe a ½ an inch towards the McCook area, this little swath of blue. That might be an inch. Might be. So yeah, it's not going to be a big deal, but you may see a snowflake or 2. You may see some raindrops, maybe mixing in at the same time, on and off, but it will not amount to much. Tonight, temperatures are going to fall almost normal. This is about where we're supposed to be, between 20 and 25 degrees, a little bit of a northeast to southeast wind. 24 degrees, mostly cloudy. We'll call that quiet and mostly cloudy. Tomorrow, cooler. We were in the 50s today, so we'll be in the 30s and maybe the 40s for parts of eastern Nebraska, Seward, Lincoln, Beatrice, Fairbury, even Omaha, Nebraska City, and Columbus, all around 41 degrees. Cloudy and that mixed precipitation possibility, it won't amount to much. Northeast wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. 7-day forecast, since we're not going to get any snowfall out of this, we jump right back into the 50s. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we might even get close to 60. And then temperatures cool off a little bit as we head through next week. 50 degrees on Tuesday, and then back into the 30s we go. We're not quite done with the winter weather yet, so 30s for highs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. But until then, it is going to be very, very mild. Just a small chance for some mixed precipitation tomorrow, and then dry and very mild as we head into the weekend.
Well, I'm sure folks who were traveling here for state basketball, girls state basketball, were thankful that at least maybe the storm waited till tomorrow so they could all get into town.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much, Rusty. A split day on Wall Street today. The Dow gaining just 5 points. NASDAQ is down 76. S&P losing 19. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight.
Venus may not be burning like a silver flame, but the planet will live up to its namesake, the Roman goddess of love, tonight. Stargazers will get a chance to see what astronomers call a conjunction as Venus and Jupiter pass each other.
The two planets are going to appear so close to one another, some are calling it a kiss. In reality, the closest they'll come from our perspective is about the diameter of a full moon apart. Venus and Jupiter are the brightest objects in the night sky right now, aside from the moon, so the conjunction will be very visible. The best time to see it will be in the western sky right around 7 p.m. And here is a flight many of us may have wished we were on.
This is the view from EasyJet Flight 1806 flying over the Northern Lights in Northern Europe on Monday. The pilot flew in a circle to give passengers a good view of the famed lights, no matter which side of the cabin they were sitting on. And crew members turned off the cabin lights so everyone could enjoy.
That is so cool. And the fact that the crew, the pilot, said, you know what, I'm going to make sure everybody can see this, because who knows when you'd ever get a chance to see it again.
Hey,
Rusty, are you jealous?
Made his customers happy.
Yeah?
Yeah, that would have been really cool. I've only seen the Northern Lights once or twice in my life, so I've seen it from that perspective. Top 10 on the list. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the forecast, and we've got a little wind out there. This is in Aurora. Penner Bathing Solutions camera showing the flags are out there, and it's a little windy. We got a lot of cloud cover too, but no precipitation falling just yet. We may see a little bit as we head into the day tomorrow, but overall it looks like just some light mixed precipitation potential. So overall it's 48 degrees in Lincoln, 50 in Beatrice, cooler in Columbus at 34, even cooler still in Norfolk at 31, and then in between is York and Aurora at 37 degrees. Notice that north wind though at 15 to 20 or 25 miles per hour. So a lot of cloud cover across the state after much of the day was sunny. A few snow showers trying to get going in parts of southwest Nebraska, maybe even a raindrop or two where it's warm enough. Overall, this is very light precipitation. So Thursday, might see a raindrop, might see a couple of snowflakes, otherwise cloudy and a little cooler. 41 degrees on Thursday, 51, back to 51 on Friday. We do see that our average high this time of year is 46. So your average high the first day of March is in the middle 40s, and we'll be a little bit below that tomorrow. We'll be a little bit above it on Friday and Saturday with anywhere from partly to mostly sunny skies heading into the weekend.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you all for joining us.
World News with David Muir is up next. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Need a better night's sleep? Come see us. At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, our custom-made mattresses are built to your needs, backed with a lifetime comfort guarantee.
Closed